Christine from Pack Hacker. In this video, we're taking a look at the Osprey Sojourn Porter 30 liter, which I've been testing for about a month. Let's dive in. So this bag is made with a 460D high tenacity ripstop recycled nylon with a PFAS-free DWR water repellent for most of like the front of the bag. You can see like the texture here. And then it has a more durable 1680D, recycled ballistic polyester for the side panels and the bottom, which is really great because, you know, that's obviously what's going to get beat up more as you shove it into bins, toss it into trunks, set it on the ground, stuff like that. There is a lot going on around here, so I'm going to try to get through everything. And we've got lots of carry handles. We have a really beefy one up top here, which sort of blocks one of the pockets, so keep that in mind. There are two on the front here, so you can sort of pick it up more like a duffel out of your trunk or pull it out of the overhead bin if you need. And then there is a side one, on this side, if you want to carry it that way. We have YKK zippers, which I'm going to undo these buckles. These are just like Osprey branded buckles. They work fine, but they're not a specific brand. The zippers all have Osprey plastic handles here attached to cords, and it makes them a lot easier to sort of open and close, especially and find around, although it is a lot going on. We have the one on the main compartment here has like a little tab you pull it through for security. And then the one on the laptop compartment, up top here, you can slide locks through. We also have, so this is called the straight jacket compression system, and it allows you to cinch the bag tighter when you're carrying less, and also has these panels on the side for added protection. So that's primarily where you're going to use the buckles, and then you can also extend them, pull them through here, and buckle them in over here if you are carrying less, which obviously I am not, so it's not really reaching, but it does work if you are carrying less. So this bag has a rather beefy harness system, which is great since you can fit quite a lot of gear inside. We have nicely contoured shoulder straps lined with breathable mesh. We have Osprey's AirScape back panel, which is very comfortably, it's got like some ridges and some breathable mesh. It's just really comfortable to carry around. It really helps lighten the load. And also it's very airy, even when you are walking around carrying this for quite some time, as I did. The nice thing too is we have sternum strap here on sliding rail for lots of adjustment, little safety whistle, and then there's a very beefy hip belt, which I did not end up using all that much because I felt like I didn't really need it, but you can tuck it away if necessary. And then there are load lifters up here, which I did use a lot. They really work really well, and so that was really great. There are keepers on the hip belt and on the shoulder straps, but not on the other things, so there are still a lot of straps hanging around here. But if you wanted to not use the hip belt, or you're going to like shove it in the overhead bin, you can tuck it away this way. It tucks away behind the back panel. Excuse how hard that is, and then if you undo both the hip belt and the load lifters there, you can tuck the rest of it all away behind here too, and then it would all zip up if I had managed to get it all correct. It all zips up so you can have everything put away for the overhead bin. So stuffed as I have this with a lot of gear, basically looks like your average travel backpack. You can also, if you needed even more space, you can slide the Osprey Daylight travel day pack or the Fairview Farpoint travel backpack through those compression straps, and sort of to have it sort of hang on like a sort of like a kangaroo joey. And so you could have even more weight on your back. And so if you are doing that, I feel like the harness system really does a good job of holding a really heavy load. I had this whole thing packed out for a weekend trip with my girlfriends to Mackinac Island up north in Michigan, and there's no cars on Mackinac Island, so you had to walk a mile from the ferry to our accommodations plus up 200 steps. And I was the only one who was not uncomfortable doing that, so I definitely think that speaks to the comfort and how great the harness system is on this bag. So before we dive into the main compartment, I want to show you everywhere else there is to stash all your gear, because there are a lot of different places. We're going to start underneath this beefy carry handle, which is really comfortable, don't get me wrong. I just didn't like how much it basically like blocks this quick access pocket at the top, because especially if you are carrying less gear, it's actually easier to access your gear in this bag when you have it fully packed out than when you're carrying less and you have it cinched in, because then zippers get blocked by handles and buckles and straps and everything. So you have a really nice large quick access pocket up here, which I mostly used for like my phone sometimes, because sometimes, like I said, it blocked it, so then I didn't really want to fight to get in it. But if you wanted to, this is just a regular toiletry bag, but you could put your 311 bag in here, but you can sort of see just how large this pocket is. It does hang into the main compartment, so it takes up room there, but it makes it really great if you're going through airport security. You can just pull out your 311 bag if they want to see it. It's right there, easily accessible, and you don't have to dig through the main compartment to pull your liquids out. So I really like that. And then it's very flexible, and it shrinks up and doesn't take up like any space in the main compartment if you don't fill it. So that's also great. Then we have, before we move on, we've got a really nice stretchy mesh water bottle pocket. I've got a just standard width Hydro Flask in here, and it fits really well. It's very nice and easy to pop in and out even when you're wearing it, which is really great. I did forget to mention there's this little security tag up here, this TSID. If you register the bag and then it gets lost, if somebody scans this QR code, it can get reconnected to you, so that's kind of nice, and it just hangs out if you don't do it. So there's that. Then we're going to move on to unbuckle these to get into the front compartment, which is this horseshoe shaped zipper here. It does run all the way down the front of the bag, which is great. But I have to say, so here is where Osprey put a really little key leash, which basically, it worked out really well when I went on vacation, because I just put my house and car keys there so that I wouldn't lose them. But like on the regular, it's not very easy to access, because it's like below where the zipper stops, or I guess it's like right where the zipper stops. And then when you have everything all packed out, or even worse, if you don't have it all packed out and you have it cinched really tight, it's difficult to like reach in and grab that. So I didn't end up using it except when I went on vacation. So I mean, it is for travel. That's what it's for. We've got a couple of slip pockets here, this sort of odd mesh one. I don't know, it reminds me of basketball shorts. Anywho, so you can put some things in there. We've got another just liner pocket there, and then a very large zipper pocket where I've just sort of stashed things. But then there is also all the space all the way down, so you could just throw your tech pouch in there if you wanted as well. And before I forget, there is also back here, and it's easier if you undo the load lifter. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. This is the laptop compartment, and I find, so it goes all the way from there, all the way down to the side. And it's large enough, definitely for a 16-inch MacBook Pro. If you have a fatter PC, it's a little tight, but it does fit. I slid my husband's Dell in there, and I did make it work, but it's a lot tighter because it's just thicker. So you can slide that in there. Obviously my 13-inch fit fine. And then we have a really large sort of padded mesh pocket if you wanted to slide maybe a tablet or some other tech inside. So if you are finding this video helpful, go ahead and take a moment to hit like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you content like this to help you travel smarter. But now, main event. Let's go into the main compartment, which I did find very easy to live out of on a trip, which was great because we were staying at a friend's place, and so there wasn't really a place to unpack because there were 3 of us in a room, and so I was able to just sort of tuck this under the desk and then pull it out and sort of use packing cubes and such. So let's show you how that worked. Like I said, you've got this security little zip tab, which then the zippers just slide under, but it is nice because it just makes it easier it just gives you a little peace of mind, right? So, it goes all the way around here, and you can see how like stiff these side panels are, which is great for protection, not always so great for access. Then this flips open, just basically clamshell. There's no organization on the front because that was basically the front pocket. But then inside we have just a large bucket space with a little extra organization. We've got compression straps, which I really liked. And because they can sort of, when you're holding less, you can cinch them in, and then it makes it easier to cinch in the outside compression straps, okay? And then you can see, let's see, I've got a sweater there, and then this was that top pocket, so you can see that's my toiletry bag and my phone, so they just lay nicely there. Or like I said, it's just material, it's very thin, so if you didn't fill it, it's no big deal, it would just lay flat. So I've got several packing cubes in here, and even though like there are compression straps and so you could just pack clothing, I did find it easier to travel with packing cubes just to sort of keep it all together and stay organized. So we've got lots of space there, but then there is a little extra organization. There's this mesh pocket on the side, just very long skinny mesh pocket, and then on this side there is just a liner pocket. Now you may be able to see a little bit of my issue with it though. So these compression straps, you don't have to have them fed up here. You could put them down, but I found it was so much easier to use them when they were tucked up here, and that's why those loops are there, right? But when you do that, then they block the zippers, so you have to sort of like reach under, zip some, get to there, reach under, zip again, which is what I did all weekend. It is what I did on my trip because I used this one for like socks and underwear, and then I used this one for my race outfit so I didn't forget where it was, and my hairbrush. Obviously you don't want to put hairbrushes in the mesh. But I didn't love that you sort of had to pick and choose convenience wise, and I picked having the compression straps up top. That was the way I went. I don't know how they could have fixed it other than maybe putting it a little below the zipper. I don't know. I'm not a bag designer. I just know that it was a little irritating every time I had to get into those pockets. So do that as you will. I have to say, so you can, like this bag is meant to, see now that I got it all empty, I'm gonna show you. This bag is meant to, the straight jacket part is meant to make it so if you are carrying less, like you empty it out and maybe you wanna use this as your day pack at your trip, I wouldn't. I would make room for a packable backpack because you lose some of the looks and oh my gosh, and I can't get it through there. Here we go, come on. And it's just a little bit awkward, but you can cinch this really, really tightly, and then it makes it very much more, usable to carry around. But then, like I said, it's hard to get in pockets, it doesn't look great and stuff. So as a travel backpack, it worked out really, really awesome, and I really, really like it. They could get rid of this part for me because I feel like these ones over here, I feel like you need to fill it, you need to use it for when you are packing a lot of gear, and then it works great. So there you have it, the Osprey Sojourn Porter 30 liter. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.